What's up, kiddos? My name is Arjuneus. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about deep shit. So I was listening to Stockholm Syndrome by Muse. Then I thought to myself, why do I like these types of songs? I've never had the problems that the song talks about, which is basically this, Stockholm Syndrome relationship. So why do I feel like I resonate with it anyways? After some introspecting, I realized that the lyrics were describing a total Harley Quinn and Joker relationship. Harley Quinn sort of has this Stockholm Syndrome with the Joker. I liked it because it was linking a certain nostalgic part of my childhood memories. It was bringing them back because I used to watch a lot of Batman when I was younger. And I remember once learning from my professor that as adults, most of our motives are shaped by our childhood nostalgias, and it is totally done at a subconscious level. That's insane. And if you want to look more into it, check out a video I did on it called How Nostalgia Secretly Shapes Music Taste and Identity. But anyways, the point is we can hardly detect that conditioning. So who is to say that your preferences are not from your own free will, but a subconscious byproduct of environmental conditioning? So in my example, if I like Batman for the gadgets and the decked out Batcave, then I'll find myself playing with a lot of high-tech toys and decking my room out to feel like I'm in a Batcave. But say I liked him not for his gadgets so much, but rather his stoic philosophy and will to overcome his fears by becoming his fears, then I would start finding myself mimicking that later on, which I basically did. I actually once had a fear of public speaking. I would literally get anxiety every time I had to speak, but then I overcame it, and now I'm doing it all the time, right? So in that sense, I've become my fear by conquering it. Boom. Now let's take a broader example. If we look at the entertainment industry, every successful person in that industry usually has a specific target audience. They relate to certain bits and parts of characters and ideas from their childhood. The idea could range from any sort of memory locked in their subconscious, anything from watching a certain show or remembering a political idea or seeing people skateboarding outside. And this stuff that they were heavily exposed to gave them an emotional attachment, whether it be positive or negative. So obviously the positive emotional attachments condition them in the sense that they will now develop a style, taste, and personality based on an amalgamation of all those traits. So when people find things and people that bring these memories from their childhood back and help them reconnect with their lost child as adults, they feel a micro dose of nostalgia with those positive emotional attachments. So basically, these people will look up to a character, an idol that brings their childhood back to life because they want to get micro doses of nostalgia. They are finding ways to access those lost memories from their past, and that gives them a feeling of regaining that lost vibe from their life. So when you find a link to remind you of who you once were, that link will then become sacred and you start worshiping it, and then that continuous devotion changes your identity and objectives in life. So I think a lot of your motives are shaped by this phenomenon. You are just trying to find that child in you that's been suppressed by this adulthood culture. And what I mean by that is that you get shamed for being childish as you get older, which I think is so, maturity is a stupid word. Martha Beck once said, the average adult laughs 15 times a day. The average child, more than 400 times. Whoa. Why are we not talking about this? Okay, forget Kylie Jenner's new lipstick. You're still gonna look ugly. This 15 to 400 is a huge difference in mental health. I mean, no wonder all of these overly serious adults have mental issues. This world is doing something severely distressing to us. It's like we are cutting the cord from our child to wake up to this prison planet. Now, I'm not saying that we should be ignorant of the distressing things happening on this planet because As they say, ignorance is bliss, but what I am saying is that having a sustainable, healthy mindset is much more important than being ignorant for a temporary bliss. Invest in the ugly truth rather than fooling yourself with these beautiful lies. But anyways, the point is that there is a dead child in all of us. Society's adulthood culture has beat the child out of most of us. That vulnerable and enthusiastic side of you. It's discouraged. I Snapchatted me watching cartoons the other day, and these fools are messaging me to grow up, man. You can't be watching cartoons. That's against societally constructed rules that we must religiously follow without questioning in the name of conforming to the masses. What? Everything you do in adulthood can be linked back to your childhood at a very, very deep subconscious level. So don't you think that it's important to know all these things that you have watched and been exposed to so that you know why you are the way you are? If you think about it, when we find people like cousins and icons, whoever, whatever, that remind us about a part of us that died once, we cherish them more because they are a link to that missing part of us, that missing child in us. Then we look for other links to fill the voids. We spend our entire, adulthood desperately searching for it, looking to bring that childhood back to life and back into your identity. We will go chasing jobs, money to build things, looking for lovers, looking for that praise we used to get so much when we were younger. Whatever. It's insane how much it can all be linked to our childhood. Some people succeed in their old age by finding themselves again, but unfortunately some people do not. They will live the rest of their lives dull and unimaginative and lose that essence of curiosity and excitement that they once had when they first came into this world. And I think these people really die at 25 but are just buried at 70. So now that I've explained this and hopefully it makes sense to you, I can get to the real actionable reason I made this video. The punchline. Don't be like those people. Don't lose the most important part about yourself. Even if you are surrounded by these dimwits trying to discourage you from expressing that part about yourself, your inner child is your first identity. Everything else after that, this so-called maturity, are just shells and masks pasted onto your true self so that you can behave normally in this culture that you've been born into. The inner child is what you are externally chasing in adulthood as a result of having to suppress it internally. Aldous Huxley went as far as to say that the secret of genius is to carry the spirit of the child into old age, which means never losing your enthusiasm. But that's all I have for today. If you guys have any questions at all, be sure to leave a comment down below. I'll be responding to all the questions. And also don't forget to share this with your friends, and hopefully I will see you guys next month. Chaos out.